Today we are watching something very rare. Sam Sevian plays e4 against grandmaster Magnus Carlsen, and Magnus Carlsen take out the knight to c6, then Nenjovich defends. White plays knight f3, and then comes f5. The chess god himself opens the king's diagonal and plays f5. The half chess community got shocked after this game. What was Magnus Carlsen hating on it? Alright. Here, absolute nonsense happens after he plays f5 on move number 3. Now comes partake on f5. Magnus Carlsen simply played e5, opened the bishop and attack it. So what white did? Plays bishop e5. Now white is like, you wanna take my pawn? Yes, you can. Because I am planning to develop my pieces, castle, and take advantage by taking knight there, by overpressurizing this knight, and by controlling the f7 squares. So with this, Magnus Carlsen as black is having a deep choice. Well, he just captured a free pawn since he is already drunk, so he is not thinking a lot, he is just playing moves. And after comes bishop take f5, here comes castling. Now, Magnus Carlsen plays e6. His idea is to play bishop c5, to develop his knight, and to castle quickly. Now here, this was white's turn, and white took advantage by playing knight e4. Knight to e4, attack the knight with the bishop sitting behind and pinning it. Now, there might be a common doubt among many players. Why knight e5 is not played? Like, if we play knight e5, it has a same plan. Then why are not we playing knight e5? But why we choose knight d4, like Sam Sevian? Well, so the main plan is to attack the bishop. After he take it, double pawns will be created, and that's one of the disadvantages that black will be having. So, Magnus Carlsen already knew about this, and he played knight e7. Now with this move, he is supporting the knight, he is supporting the bishop. So here, rook comes to e1. Now, white is hoping for attacking this pawn. Well, the main plan is not knight take on this immediately. The main plan will be, after rook e1, knight take bishop. If the knight take it, rook take on this pawn, that's a free pawn, and can overpressurize the attack at this knight. So this will be very easy for Sam to crush Magnus. So against this, Magnus Carlsen plays queen d6. And then he is like, simply, he is protecting his pawn because he can easily observe this. Now he observed that queen to d6 will protect this pawn, will prepare for lock castling and protect this king. So some logical moves played by Magnus Carlsen is protecting the whole game. Well, white plays bishop take c6. And here comes pawn takes c6. Now the matter is why Magnus Carlsen is taking from the pawn. So it will take from the knight. Knight take on bishop, and that's a free bishop. Knight take bishop, knight take it, that's a win, and that's a free bishop. So that's right. Here, well, so bishop take on knight, he take on c6, and then comes queen e2. Now Sam is over-pressurizing attack at this pawn, attack at the bishop by the knight, and his piece development, his castling is already very well. So, Magnus Carlsen, in the move number 9, plays king to d7 and says, castling is overrated. And the king is just chilling in the middle of the board. Like, come, fight me. And Sam is playing very calm chess with d3. Idea is to open the bishop, to block the diagonal, and that's it. Now here, after this move, Developing the pieces is all what remains for black. That is the bishop and this knight. So here, Magnus Carlsen plays c5 and attack the knight, attacking center and north. Here comes knight take on the bishop. Now, Sam is like, let me create some trades. Here, Magnus Carlsen take it back of the knight. Now he can look for bishop e7, can look for opening the bishop anywhere on these highlighted squares and connect the rooks. This rook connection is the only thing that remains in one of the opening principles. So he is like making space for bishop to e7. Now, at this position, this was white's turn, and white continues with a very good move, bishop to f4. Now, this move, what does this move suggest? The idea was very simple. If the queen anyhow take it, then queen could take the pawn, the king moves to d8, and queen e8 that's a checkmate. Now, once again, Magnus Carlsen, do you think he fell? No, not at all. So he does not fail. And what he plays? So Magnus Carlsen plays knight to d4, and he's like, you have my queen, I take yours. See? And Sam is saying, no, I am not going to accept your deal. So queen to d2, protecting the bishop, attacking the queen. Here comes queen to c6. And then Sam plays c3, attacking the knight. Magnus Carlsen plays knight to f5. Here we need to rook e8, protecting the pawn. Here rook d2, developing pieces are connecting the rooks. Bishop to d6. And if you ignore the evaluation part, although it says that white is winning, if you ignore it, if you look at the material, both are equal. If you look at the development, both are equal. The only difference is about the position, that the king is very weak. There are double pawns, weaknesses, and it is having a very flexible structure. Like white is having a very flexible structure against black. Well, so black continues with bishop e6. Magnus is like, I am offering a trade. You want a trade? Now white chose to play bishop e3. The best trade. Ignoring the trade, and that's the correct move played. It means that we are allowing black that he take it, and then we go with queen take, we over pressurize, we develop the knight, bring it to g5, over pressurize, and that was Sam's plan against Magnus Carlsen. So Magnus continues with rook to g8. Now he's like, do you think I'm going to capture your bishop or do things according to you? No. So Sam continues with queen x5, and then comes x6. With this move, all Magnus wanted to do is to protect the pawn with this, allowing queen, allowing attacks, and on. So Sam plays queen to g6, and here Magnus Carlsen take the knight backward, attacking the queen. So queen comes to g4, and you can say the queen from x5 went to g6 and then to x4. The queen is traveling more than a backpacker in Europe. Well, knight to f5 once again, knight f3, development, and then comes g5. Now Magnus Carlsen setting the pawn storms so that he could attack the king, can try some attacks against Sam. Sam plays h3, and then comes king to c8 by Magnus. He is like, I'm protecting my king. And here comes rook e2, a mistake. The best move was bishop take on bishop, and pawn take it, followed by e4, attacking the queen side towards the king. That's it. Now here comes rook e2. White's plan is about doubling the rooks, maybe to play b4 after he take, bishop take, and bring the rook here, opening this file. Well, these are all very complex plan taught by GM Sam. So comes black's turn, bishop to e7. Now here, rook moves to e1, doubling the rooks, indirectly attacking the weak pawn. Now, here, king moves to b7, queen to h5, followed by bishop d8. Now, Magnus Carlsen king is still somewhere in middle of battlefield, and Sam is like covering the advantage, and comes b3. Knight h4. Magnus is like attacking it, trying to figure out something. So comes bishop g3, attacking it, opening the rooks and all. Black continues with knight take on f3, queen take on f3. Rook moves to f8 and try attacking the queen, especially the king side. So queen moves to h5, attack the weak pawn. Queen moves to a6, attacking weak pawn. Now Magnus Carlsen on making fair deals that you take, I take your, he is making his position more and more worse. Well, c4 is what Sam plays. And here, after the trace, the pawn structure is completely indestructible. Well, here comes bishop f6. Now Magnus is like opening his eyes, making his bishop open, trying to figure out something. So comes queen take on x6, queen a5. Idea is to move bishop, to try attacking and all. So comes queen g6, bishop to d4, and Magnus changes his plan. Plays bishop b4, for attacking this, with the rook attacking it. So king moves to h2. Now Sam is like, I am not going to keep this. How can you crush me? So there is no pin at all. And Sam is playing complete protective chess. So comes e5 by Magnus. And that comes queen take g5. Queen to b6, queen g4. Here, white plays rook e4, having a very strong trap. Bishop take on f2. Here comes bishop take f2, rook take it, rook take e5. And if you calculate the number of pieces, white is a red material. These two pawns he can use to push them and promote. Well, here comes queen to d6. Magnus clipping some pins. Now Magnus is in trouble since he is lack of two pawns. Well, here comes queen e4 check. The mistake. The best move was to play queen g3 and eliminate this pin. This pin is no longer. So Magnus is completely in trouble. Well, here comes queen e4 check. And you look at the evaluation bar from here to here, returned. Well, this was a mistake. King moves to b6 was another mistake by Magnus, for giving Sam second chance to prove himself. So here, Sam plays queen to d5. Now here's like, you wanted a trade, Magnus, right? Today, I am offering you a special opportunity to trade and make yourself and myself happy. And Magnus quickly captures the point. So comes pawn take on d5. Now Magnus Carlsen trade the rook. He lost the advantage. Oh my god, could have played rook g8, could have attacked it. Magnus Carlsen continues with the mistake move, rook take on e5. White take it back, and that comes rook take on a2. White pushes the pawns. Magnus is like trying to attack, and white take. He continues pushing the pawns forward. So here comes rook e6 check. A blunder. And Magnus is like, what? So here, Magnus Carlsen plays the best move. And guess what? The position is neutral. And Sam is like, hey. Whoa, what happened to me? Oh my god! Well, here comes white. Rook c6 check. Magnus captures. Now, Magnus is like, you are capturing my pawns. but I am ready to promote to a new queen and enjoy. Here comes rook take on a4. h5, king d4, a mistake. This is the fourth chance that Magnus is giving to Sam so that he could prove himself as a good player crushing Magnus. Now here comes x6. In a hurry, white just pushed the pawn. Instead, he could have gone with g4. It's about double security and promote. Now here comes x6. Rook moves to a6, a great move. Cause if you try pushing, rook x6 check, you move the king, and you cannot promote, even push. So it's nearly a draw. So that's why rook to e6 was played. And after rook a6 check, he played king g3. c3 was a mistake. Now Magnus Carlsen is giving the fifth chance so that Sam could prove himself. There, Sam plays king f4, the great move. Why? Because it creates an old position. If he could have played king e4, in fact king e5, that would have been much better. Now you might be saying king e5, rook can take this pawn. Well, rook take on x7, and that's unstoppable. Magnus Carlsen having this position. Don't you think he will make a draw? Right. So here comes c3. King moves to f4, creating opposition, and that's a great move. Magnus Carlsen plays king d3. Now his opponent plays king g5, trying some smartness. Rook moves to h1, white plays king g6, and Magnus Carlsen tries to counterplay with his pawns. And guess what? It's too late. Sam's king walked in, the pawns were unstoppable. Magnus finally resigns. Now this proves one thing. Even the best player in the world can lose when the king on a occasion goes to d7 in move number 9. Well, so Magnus would have closed this laptop and said, maybe my opening was not a good idea. So, and if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and comment below. Should Magnus keep playing his crazy openings? And if you want any other video regarding Magnus playing any opening, like fancy, dramatic, or something different, you may comment, and see you in the next video. Subscribe.